Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we've already mentioned this, Laker fans, in a previous video in passing, but Kuzma may be available to acquire for any team that may be looking for his services. The Phoenix Suns, from what I understand, are the latest team that's hot on his tail, but the Los Angeles Lakers are also a team that may be interested in acquiring him. Now, I looked at the numbers in regards to what it's going to take. Patrick Beverley's contract will definitely make it happen. Problem is, anybody in their right mind about to trade Kyle Kuzma for Patrick Beverley at all. So what you're going to have to do is throw in one or two picks in order to make that happen. Now, the question is, would you give up 2 first-round picks or 1 first-round pick in Patrick Beverley to acquire Kyle Kuzma? And the question I'm asking is a rhetorical one, I guess. I don't really expect nobody to answer that per se, but I do think that I can answer it myself. I don't have any problem bringing back Kuzma to the situation because I know he's going to be a lot better in this rotation than he was when in any other rotation he was with us in the past. Because at the end of the day, he was being coached by some bad guys to coach him. I don't want to be too much of a naysayer in regards to those guys right now, because that's not what this video is about. But it's a big difference between Darvin Ham and Luke Walton and our guy Frank Vogel. We had some very, very, very questionable stuff going on most of those times, with the exception of the 2020 year where we were able to win the championship. And Vogel did some good things as a coach to help us do that. So we won't poo-poo him all the way, but just from a fit basketball standpoint, the way we saw Kuzma these last couple years, we were far away from the 2020 year with our coaching. The system we were in was stand-around offense. Everybody has basically defense honed in on them real carefully every single night while they're basically in a position to be advantaged size-wise, because we were playing small ball in that situation. So picture stand-around offense with everybody being twice your height. And that's what we were having happen down there with Kuzma. And so we were evaluating all of the Laker talent with that being the team that they were performing on. And so their performance was definitely compromised. Do I think Kyle Kuzma is a much better basketball player in a better, more fluid system? I think that part has been proven. It ain't even about what I think. I think when you see what he's done in Washington, he's had games where he's strung together 30-point games night after night. He's had a triple doubles. He's put up big rebounding games, assist games, hit game-winning shots. I mean, this dude has flourished into a very, very, very good basketball player since leaving our terrible system. And we knew he would. But while he was in this system, while he was running with LeBron James and other ball handlers like Brandon Ingram, we couldn't get nothing out of the guy. He scored 10 points and get you nothing else, basically. He was a one-trick pony. And so we knew he showed flashes of being able to do all kinds of different things. We knew the upside initially was extraordinary because he came out the gate as a back of the first round guy who was just killing it in the summer league. And so we knew he was basically someone who could hit every shot. When his leg strength is there, he's basically automatic. He's an artist in the open court. You know what I mean? Kuzma is somebody who we know is givenly talented, I guess is what you could say. He was touched by God to be able to score the basketball easy. And he has work ethic. You know, one of the things that was scouted about him when he was first drafted was the fact that he had insane work ethic at Utah. The boy loved to work. He loved to hone in on his craft. And I think being in Los Angeles, he got caught up in being a Laker. He got caught up in being LeBron's teammate. He got caught up in being a model and all kinds of other stuff. And he needed to get the heck away from this environment so that he can hone his craft to get better at being a basketball player. You know what I mean? He won an NBA championship, so it wasn't anything left for him to do in terms of trying to prove himself as a team guy. He needed to go out and prove himself as an individual guy. And I think he's in the presence of doing that right now. Thing is, you bring him back to this environment. Are you sure he's not going to turn back into that guy? Are you sure he's not going to go back to being model Kuzma? Because model Kuzma was passionate about being a model, but he wasn't passionate about being a basketball player. And we know that. That was our problem. I ain't forgot about the negative stuff. This boy was coming in here with being a fashion icon, and it would drop 3 points in a loss. And so my thing is, I think one of the reasons why he's doing so well is because he's out of that limelight. It's because he ain't playing next to LeBron. It's because he is in Washington, and they are focused on just running with no expectations and certainly no spotlight on him and what he's wearing. So while I love what I'm seeing over there, and him playing in that Washington system is turning him into a much better player, I don't know that we bring him back here and he doesn't turn right back into Model Kuzma. However, Model Kuzma is not going to necessarily bode well in this situation being coached by Darvin Ham, because Darvin Ham going to make sure that Model Kuzma crap doesn't last very long. So that is why I would ultimately be okay with bringing him back. It's because of Darvin. If Darvin wasn't here, I say no. If you plan on firing Darvin, don't bring back Kuzma. But as long as Darvin Ham is Kuzma's coach, yeah, we good. Because I think that ain't going to be no place for that Model Kuzma crap in the presence of what we are. And there's certain things that Kuzma would have to understand about this year's team if he were to enter this lineup. This is a different Laker team than he left. This team is disciplined shooting the three-point shot. This team hustles and plays defense. This team has certain things that they've learned about themselves that they're very careful to not mess up. And that's what I like about this unit. You bring in a couple of reckless guys who don't give a damn about that, and you will throw off the entire identity that we've developed as a team that is conscious of itself and works on itself. So you got to be very careful not to disrupt that particular part of your chemistry, because these personalities, they do that. They buy into the coaching. They don't hold on to mistakes as it pertains to letting it affect their confidence. They do the work and they come back and they improve upon what it is that they were bad at. So that's something that the team has bought into as a unit. And I don't know that we don't disrupt that if we make the wrong trades. And so those are the type of things I'm looking at that are, it's very sensitive. Chemistry is sensitive, fit is sensitive. But the way I look at it, the one thing that we're missing is size. Another thing we're missing is shooting. And the reason why we're such a bad shooting team and disciplined shooting team, 3-point wise, is because we're a bad shooting team. And so you bring a guy like Kuzma in with a more talented shooting ability, and it should, in theory, take away your need to be so careful from behind the arc. So it's one of those things where it's like we bring back a volume 3-point shooter that could probably run it up, you know what I mean, who could run the score up on a hot night. And we know Kuzma can help us with a lot of our scoring issues, especially with the Patrick Beverley issue and stuff like that. That stuff goes bye-bye. We don't have those issues. And in a game like last night, you have a guy on the floor that you can effectively go to for 25 to 40 points in the event of AD's not on the floor, in the event Bron's not on the floor. I don't think we had that type of score on the floor last night. I don't think the Lakers could really rely on anybody other than Thomas Bryant to really effectively put a lot of points on the board. A guy like Lonnie Walker, too, as well. But he wasn't healthy. So it's like you have Kuzma out there and you damn near have an all-star that's looking to get 30 and entertain the crowd. So I think that dynamic helps. Now, the question is, has Kuzma gotten better defensively? Has he gotten stronger in regards to being in the way, as I like to say? Is he ready to be a big and play as a big? Or is he still kind of just sometimey on the defensive end? I do not know. But I know the Wizards ain't been doing a whole lot of winning, and so that's not encouraging. But what I do say is they're a limited basketball team. They don't have a superstar over there. And Kuzma's been great in their situation. He's been one of their main guys, and he's very consistent in doing a lot for his team every night when he plays. So that's not the Kuzma we had. That's not the Kuzma we traded it. But it is the Kuzma we'd hope to be getting. So, yeah, I mean, as you can see, I'm on the fence. And it's 50-50 for me, man. I'm not so sure. He has a 2-year, $14 million contract. My thing is, I love bringing back guys that we had, but I don't forget how they left. We traded Kuzma, and I don't think he was too happy about it. I'm pretty sure going to Washington wasn't exactly something he was looking forward to. It worked out, but I think it would have worked out anywhere, to be honest with you. Kuzma's somebody who could really play the game, and if he removes those distractions, he probably plays even better. Hence why he probably had so much work ethic at Utah. No distractions. So I ultimately think that's probably a good place for him. Utah, as I'm speaking, the Jazz would be an excellent place for him. You add him to that mix of what they got over there. He fits right in with Utah, but I don't think they're looking to build. They're probably looking to be sellers anyway in their market. But as I look at the situation right now, I would love to reacquire Kyle Kuzma at the right price for us, especially if it doesn't cost us a first-round pick. If we could put together the scraps that we have, stuff that we don't want, and fleece the Washington Wizards some miraculous way, then obviously that's a plus for us no matter what, and bring Kuzma back. Now the question is, does Kuzma solve our Russell Westbrook problem? And the reason why it's a problem is because he's $47 million on our books. I don't think so. I wouldn't send Westbrook back to Washington at this point. I would not look to acquire any of the matching salary that Washington has to provide us. Now, if we were to enter a third team into the mix, obviously that changes the whole game plan. But as far as us taking back anything that would match their salary, Kuzma's the only contract that I'm really excited about over there. I think everything else is just rookies that I want to take from them and second-year players, stuff like that. Give me Corey Kispert, for example. I'll take that player. But and so on and so forth. But for me, I don't want anything Washington has other than Kuzma. To be honest, if I'm really considering, maybe Gafford as well. Of course, we like what we saw out of Gafford. So yeah, man, it's like I'm not exactly shopping in what they have over there, but I do want us to kind of take that as an option, maybe, if they would be willing to take Westbrook, if that's a landing spot for him. We know he played well there. We know he's familiar there. He had a good year there, that kind of thing. So it might be a good spot for him. They don't have a point guard. That's another thing. I'm not exactly in the business of trying to extract Westbrook from the team, to be honest with you, at this point. I just understand that we could still use $47 million in the form of many other players. And so if we're going to fix our flexibility issue overall, the sooner we do that and turn him into some other equity, the better, to be honest. But for this unit, that isn't the case. For this unit that we're trying to win with, he's actually a big piece of it. He's actually a pace keeper and an assist maker and somebody who can help us get to the line multiple times. So it's a balanced thing where you look at the zoom out picture and say we need to do this. When you look at the zoom in picture, you say you don't need to do this. And then you zoom in even further and realize he's expiring at the end of this year. So it's like, well, do we have to do anything at all? If we need him and we need him for this year, then it kind of cancels itself out, does it not? Yes, until he busts his knee. That's the problem. It's like, yeah, as long as you can guarantee he's staying healthy and will play no matter what, then you're good. But if you can't guarantee he's going to stay healthy, then you have a chance of that value dissipating. And that is something, with the very little that you have, you cannot afford. On a tightrope. That's what we say. This thing is on a tightrope. And that's why we are left with the frustrated truth of making trades, even though we're playing well, is still probably the safest thing for the franchise as a whole. It probably is. Even though we're playing well, every moment you are at risk of it all falling apart for a very long time, not just for this season, because of exactly how the players' contracts are structured. And so it's like AD goes down and he's missing for next year, the season's lost. Like, I don't want to speak stuff like that. I hate speaking stuff like that, but I understand that if you're an organization, these are the things that you're guarding against. You have to have that in your mind as something you got to keep from happening to you. So, yeah, man. I want our Lakers to be safe as an organization. I want us to be champions for sure, but I definitely don't want us to be a team that is one injury away from being bad for 4 years straight, which is what we are. And I know people don't look at it that way, but it does get worse if injuries hit hard. And most teams don't have that problem because they have most of their equity in more players. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just 3 guys. 3 guys? And you're leaning on those 3 guys because the rest of the guys are going to suck inherently because you're leaning on 3 guys. It's just a double down on the risk factor. And so every moment we play a game like this, it's on a tightrope of things going completely haywire. And as we understand that, we just want the team to understand it too. So LeBron James, with respect to him and his timeline, I'm sure he understands that if this was his money on the line, if this was his franchise and he owned the Lakers, I don't know if he'd be taking this risk. And that's what Jeanie needs to be considering. And it's something he needs to be considering too. It's like, bro, would you do this with your franchise? Because I'm telling you right now, I would not. If I own the Lakers, this would have already been blown up because I don't like those type of risks, man. I'm not that type of a cowboy. Hell no. Especially when I understand these level of pieces, though they're running in lifetime pieces, and you don't get these kind of guys together. We're the Lakers. There's a reason why we were able to do this. And if we're structured properly with a proper foundation, we can most definitely do this again. There's 100% chance we can pull this off. If there's a such thing as a LeBron James 5 years from now and an Anthony Davis 5 years from now, if we have the flexibility, chances are we're going to be the first team they look at to come to. So it's like, when you understand who you are, you don't take risks that you don't have to take, man. We don't have to do that. because we've already done this with Bron and AD for 4 years. So we've already milked it, got a championship out of it. So going forward with this type of risk, knowing you can always do it again just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, you can always do this again. Unless we turn into a team that has absolutely no flexibility, then we most definitely cannot do anything at all for ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would people even play like that? I don't think that makes any sense at all. And I don't think everybody quite sees it this way. The people who need to see it this way, I don't think they do. So that's where we're at, Laker fans. That's where we're at. I want Jeannie Buss to see this video. Hopefully she gets to see some of the stuff that I'm talking about here and there, along unaccompanied with everybody I watch too, because at the end of the day, man, that's what I'm doing. I'm paying attention to Laker Nation, and I'm coming back to you guys as a voice. But, you know, everybody who contributes to this thing is important, and I really do appreciate all of the content creators out there who contribute to the Laker thing. Gives me a lot to talk about, gives me a lot of information, etc. And I try to often name these guys too, man. I'm not in the business of trying to give people free promotion in this particular video, but occasionally I will give people credit when I take stuff from them. And it's not because I'm looking to do anything in any way, connect or any way. It's just that I truly value this thing we're talking about. And if I can make myself popular enough to where the people behind the scenes are actually paying attention to me, I'm hopeful that they'll take some of my ideas and apply it to the real bulletin board or whatever it is they're looking at. Because at the end of the day, fans be paying attention to this stuff more than they do, because we're obsessive about this kind of stuff. A lot of us, you know what I mean? We ain't got no lives or whatever. So we can focus on this stuff without even really wavering in our minds. So it's kind of what they got. You got another asset here from the fans' perspective. You know, I'm not the most detailed studying kind of person. I'm really not. But, you know, I'm just one of many voices. You can go to me and then go to the next guy and then go to the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy, next guy, and then take as much information from all of us as possible. And then make sound decisions based on what it is that you see in front of you in regards to your real bulletin board. So that's what I want our organizations to do. That's what I want every organization to do in every facet of sports all over the world. Start listening to your fans, because some of them really do have the answers. And some of them really are the geniuses that are able to understand certain things that people you hire may not. Simply put, they're just people you haven't discovered a lot of times. And so, and when you put the presence of real life simulations that people can actually like really study stuff like video games, where you get into intricacies of different things, you really do start opening up the doors for certain minds to become zeroed in on those subjects. Like, you know, people are becoming expert in things that, you know, people go to school for in a lot of cases, just by being intelligent and being able to take what it is that they see and apply it properly to what it is that's real. So I think that might be the future in a way. You know, this is like the beginning of that process, I think, to where humans are going to be more interactive in regards to the various things that they like. And they're going to be influential in regards to certain decisions being made behind the scenes, because these people are going to be paying attention to those people who are obsessive about what it is. You know, if you go case study and figure out what people are doing, they had all these case studies when I was a kid, put all these people in a movie theater to have them see a movie that ain't going to come out for 2 years, that kind of thing. See if the movie does well. This is like an advanced, evolved version of that. You don't even have to do all that. You just go to the internet and see exactly what a guy like myself is saying about your squad or whatever it is he likes or doesn't like. And bam, you got the information you need. One person equals what? A million? How does it work? 1,000, whatever it is. There you go. So it's just a new way to be a fan, like I said in the previous video. And yeah, I want to contribute to winning, man. I remember somebody in the comment section of one of my videos asked me, like, why don't you do the NFL? I don't give a damn about the NFL. I don't like football like that. Like, I'm not going to be in the business of football. I don't know or care about football like that. So I'm not going to be talking about the intricacies of the NFL or the MLB. I ain't a fan of that. I'm trying to win. I'm a Laker fan. So the first thing for me to do is to help my team see what it is that I see. And the second thing for me to do is from there, continue to learn what I need to learn so that I could keep our team competitive. You know what I mean? Do homework every year. Every game, every year. So as we continue to pile up these videos, they could have so much crap to refer to just from my perspective over the years. 3, 4, 5 years from now, they can go back and watch halftime videos from me talking about what I see from this team and apply it to things that they see in the future if they want to. You know what I mean? Pure data, perspective data. So that's what I hope to provide, man. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Everybody who checks out BDF44, I'm rambling at this point, but at the end of the day, this is pretty much the passion that I have, man. My team, LA Lakers, we're going to win more championships in this lifetime of mine. I'm certain of that. We just got to continue to not take chances with our franchise in regards to the risk that we're currently living with. This regime doesn't see the fruit in just resetting their process. Starting over, making sure you have that foundation, and then using your LA Laker draw as a means of making whatever you want to happen again. And this time, not mortgaging in the future that you're going to get in order to acquire it, because it's not necessary. So that's what I have to say, man. That is it. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. Bye.